Here are today's top stories. The AFP welcomes the relief of about 20 military officials involved in corruption at the V. Luna Hospital. Malacanang warns it is ready to work with a reenacted budget as lawmakers suspend deliberations on the national budget for 2019. An army unit is instrumental in helping end of the feud between warring Moro clans. And expect more rains as 3 weather disturbances enhance the southwest monsoon. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Armed Forces of the Philippines welcomes dismissal of about 20 high-ranking military officials and employees over alleged corrupt practices at the V. Luna Hospital. President Rodrigo Duterte had ordered Brigadier General Edwin Leo Torrelavega, the commander of the AFP Health Services Command, and Colonel Antonio Punsalan, the commander of V. Luna Hospital, to face court-martial proceedings. AFP Chief of Staff General Carlito Galvez Jr. said these personnel will be charged with violation of Article of War 95 or fraud against the government. AFP Chief said that he will implement reforms along with a major revamp in that unit to address the systemic corruption.
We have zero tolerance on corruption. We will only allow transparency. Should be knowledgeable of what his command is doing. And also the failure of the command will be his failure.
Malacanang vows to investigate the incident between Philippine military aircraft and Chinese military while flying over the disputed West Philippine Sea. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said he has yet to get information about the reported warnings by Chinese military against a Philippine military aircraft and a U.S. aircraft. Media reports state that both planes were told to leave the airspace as the Chinese military pronounced that China has sovereignty over the disputed area.
Investigation will be conducted, pero if the information is true, the good news is di naman nagpatakot yung ating mga piloto. Tinakot sila, di sila nagpatakot, tinuloy pa rin nila yung lipad nila dahil meron naman talaga tayong territory doon. Well, the Philippine pilots continued their flights. They disregarded that.
So that means?
That means that we are upholding our title. That we are asserting our sovereignty because we conducted the overflight over our islands. We will assert our sovereignty. And if need be, Filipino pilots will die for our sovereignty.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development has assisted more than 28,000 families affected by the onslaught of monsoon rains over the weekend. DSWD Secretary Virginia Orogo says they are ready to provide assistance for those in evacuation centers as well as local government units that are in need. Over 300 barangays in Luzon, including 184 in Metro Manila, were affected by floods and landslides caused by monsoon rains. The DSWD has started distributing food packs consisting of 6 kilos of rice, corned beef, and 3-in-1 coffee. They also have personal kits containing toothpastes, toothbrush, soap, and toiletries, as well as sleeping kits with mosquito net and blankets. The Hugpong ng Pagbabago Party has forged an alliance with 9 national and local political groups to bolster support for the Duterte administration. Janice Cave has this report.
Davao-based regional party Hugpong ng Pagbabago has formally forged an alliance with 9 political groups, 3 of which were national parties. The national parties include the Nationalista Party, the National Unity Party, and the National People's Coalition. HNP chairperson and Davao City Mayor Inday Sara Duterte clarified that the alliance was made not for her political ambition but to give different groups a chance to support the advocacies of her father, President Rodrigo Duterte. She told the media that President Duterte has no role in the new alliance agreement, but they would like to have an alliance with the ruling PDP Laban. Mayor Sara stressed that they are not open to a possible alliance with the Liberal Party of former President Benigno Aquino III. She stressed that the party and its allies want to support the term of President Duterte until 2022. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
The government is ready to send aid to victims of Typhoon Karding and monsoon rains. Special Assistant to the President Christopher Bongo says President Rodrigo Duterte has ordered the concerned agencies to check on the needs of affected families. Go personally went to areas affected by Typhoon Karding in Marikina, Taytay, and Quezon City to check on the situation of residents there. He said President Rodrigo Duterte was supposed to conduct an aerial survey to check on the affected families but was unable to because of zero visibility. Go also distributed relief goods donated by friends and supporters.
Former Tourism Secretary Wanda Tulfo-Teo asserted before the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee that there was nothing illegal in the 60 million pesos paid by the agency to place advertisements in state-run PTV4. Teo says the contract to run ads in the program Kilos Pronto, which is hosted by her brother Ben, is not a legal transaction. She says the deal between DOT and PTV4 is a government-to-government contract and all payments were paid directly to PTV4. PTV4 General Manager Dino Apolonio confirms it was the state-run TV network that pitched the idea of placing the advertisements in the time slot of Kilos Pronto. DOT Chief Bernadette Romulo Puyat meanwhile vowed to fully cooperate in the investigations conducted by the Ombudsman and the Commission on Audit. Earlier, the COA described the ad placement deal as a possible violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act due to conflict of interest. Teo eventually tendered resignation following the COA report.
Still to come, Malacanang warns it is ready to work with a reenacted budget as lawmakers suspend deliberations on the national budget for 2019. An army unit is instrumental in helping end the feud between warring Moro clans. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente. August 3, Biyernes, Balay-Balay, Bukidnon. Pinangunahan ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang inaugurasyon ng Northern Mindanao Wellness and Reintegration Center. August 4, Sabado, Zamboanga City. Nakidalamhati ang Pangulo sa pamilya ng mga nasawing sundalo at sibilyan sa isang car bombing sa Basilan noong July 31, 2018. Binisita rin ng Pangulo ang mga sugatang sundalo sa Camp Navarro General Hospital. August 6, Lunes. Malugod na tinanggap ng Pangulo sa Malacanang si Pio Malvar, isang batang may kanser sa buto. Pinarangalan naman ng Order of Sikatuna ang outgoing ambassador mula sa Israel na si Ephraim Ben Matitiao. Pinirmahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang Philippine Identification System Act na magpapabilis ng transaksyon ng mga Pilipino sa gobyerno.
Today, I also signed the Philippine Identification System Act, a measure that will establish a single national identification system that will promote good governance, enhance governmental transactions, and create a more conducive environment for trade and commerce to thrive.
Naging makasaysayan din ang pagpresenta ni Pangulong Duterte ng Bangsamoro Organic Law sa harap ng mga Moro leaders.
10 days ago, I signed into law the Organic Law for Bangsamoro Region for Muslim Mindanao, which I hope will finally end the decades of conflict that is rooted in the Bangsamoro's fight for self-determination and recognition of their unique identity.
Kinagabihan ay pinangunahan ng Chief Executive ang 28th Cabinet Meeting. August 7, Martes, Malacanang. Kinastigo ng Pangulo ang mahigit 100 pulis na tinawag niyang salot sa lipunan dahil sa mga krimen at iligal na gawain nilang kinasasangkutan.
Bakit kayo pumasok sa pulis? Anong nakain ninyo na itong pulis para lang ito sa mga taong may pagmamahal sa bayan at gusto makapagsilbi sa kapwa-tao? Doon sa may kaso, huwag na kayong mag-bail. Huwag ninyo akong sisiyon. Huwag na kayo magkansa, magtiis kayo dyan sa loob. Mas safer ang Pilipinas kung nasa loob kayo. Wala kayong silbi para sa akin Salot kayo sa lipunan.
August 8, Miyerkules, Camp Crame, Quezon City. Sa 117th Police Service Anniversary, pinuri ng Pangulo ang PNP dahil sa natangi nilang serbisyo sa bayan lalo na sa nakalipas na 2 taon. Nangako ang Chief Executive ng 25 milyong medical assistance para sa kanila. Dinalaw niya ang 2 sugatang pulis sa PNP General Hospital at pinarangalan ang mga ito ng Order of Lapu-Lapu Kampilan Medal. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
Malacanang announced that it is not afraid to work with a reenacted budget for 2019. This as the palace expressed alarm over the decision of the House of Representatives to suspend deliberations on the proposed 3.75 trillion peso cash-based national budget. The House decided to suspend all budget briefings amid opposition to the new cash-based budgeting system proposed by the Department of Budget and Management, or DBM. Lawmakers reportedly wanted to revert to the obligation-based budget system. Presidential spokesperson Secretary Harry Roque, however, said the palace remains firm in their preference for cash-based budgeting to solve the problem of underspending. He also warned that a reenacted budget will affect the pet projects of congressmen. The Philippine economy remains strong as the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and expects the country to attract more foreign investors. Benj Bondoc has this report.
The Philippines' robust economy continues to attract investors as evidenced by the growth in foreign direct investments. In the first 5 months this year, FDIs grew 49% year-on-year to $4.8 billion from last year's $3.3 billion. Last June, monetary officials announced the upward revision in the FDI assumption for the year to $9.2 billion from $8.2 billion on account of sustained growth of the domestic and global economy and impact of the government's infrastructure program. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas Governor Nestor Espinilla Jr. said last May's FDI growth reflects the positive view of investors, proving the economy's resilience through foreign inflows. In 2017, the country registered a record high $10 billion in FDI, and authorities expect this to continue given the positive developments in the country, among others. Espinilla pointed out that the 6% GDP growth in the second quarter of 2018 remains fairly strong even if this is a slip from the previous quarter's 6.6%. The central bank chief said that if the problem points to productivity issues, these are expected to be addressed by the rise of FDIs as well as the government's increased investments on infrastructure. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondo.
Local oil companies implemented a modest increase in the prices of unleaded gasoline and diesel Tuesday morning. In separate announcements, local oil firms increased the prices of diesel by 25 centavos per liter and unleaded gasoline by 15 centavos per liter. Last week, oil companies also implemented a price rollback of 10 centavos per liter for gasoline and diesel. Oil firms said price adjustments reflect the movements in the international petroleum market to which they are only passing on to Filipino consumers. Army peacemakers have succeeded in bringing together to a table of peace Muslim families involved in a bloody family feud following weeks of negotiations. The warring families agreed to end their conflict by signing a peace pact in front of local leaders and military officials in Buluan, Maguindanao. Bong Abdul and Kindao Samama, whose families have been in conflict since 2015, agreed to sign the peace pact in a ceremony held at the house of Assemblyman Gaddafi, Magundadatu. Colonel Robert Daos, commander of the 1st Mechanized Infantry Brigade, said the Army unit worked with local officials and traditional leaders in resolving the said conflict. Magundadato, for his part, said all residents must abandon the path of violence and support the peace and development agenda of the government. Residents of Baguio City are advised to keep themselves warm amid cold and rainy weather and guard against weather-induced illnesses like dengue and leptospirosis. Baguio City registered a 16 degrees Celsius temperature on Monday. City Health Officer Dr. Rowena Galpo says upper respiratory infections like cough and colds and influenza are common during cold weather. She said the City Health Office is also monitoring the incidence of dengue. 2 dengue-related deaths were recorded from January to August 5 this year, compared to last year with 3 deaths. Leptospirosis, which is common in times of flooding, is also being monitored. Up next, students in China experience and learn to appreciate Filipino culture. 3 weather disturbances enhance the southwest monsoon and threaten to cause more rains. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Isa lamang ang dahilan sa paglaganap ng leptospirosis. Huwag lumusong o magtampisaw sa baha, lalo na kung may sugat. Gumamit ng bota kung hindi maiiwasan. Kapag may lagnat ng 2 araw matapos lumusong sa baha, agad kumonsulta sa pinakamalapit na pagamutan.
Malinis na tubig ang dapat inumin. Yan ay tiyakin, pati tubig sa lutuin. Gamitin palagi ang tsinelas. Gumamit lang ng toilet, huwag kung saan-saan. Bulate, iwasan, maghugas ng kamay bago at matapos na kumain. At pagkatapos gumamit ng toilet, tugas-tugas ng kamay. Kaibigan, mga bulating pasaway, goodbye.
Some 60 students from various schools in China learned facts about the Philippines in a Ni Hao Philippines activity at the Philippine Embassy in Beijing. Members of the Little Chinese Digital Culture Ambassadors Organization gathered students with ages 7 to 15 from Beijing, Shanghai, Zhejiang, and Hubei. The 2-hour activity focused on the history, cultures, and introduction of some Filipino heroes like Jose Rizal, Apolinario Mabini, and Andres Bonifacio. The students also learned some basic geographical facts, Filipino words and phrases. They also listened to the Philippine National Anthem and participated in the Philippine flag making and coloring activity. Meanwhile, some students showcased their talents in singing and dancing and playing instruments during the activity. Ni Hao Philippines is an annual activity of the Philippine Embassy in partnership with the Department of Tourism, which aims to educate Chinese students about the Philippines. The Davao Aguilas have scored an emphatic victory over reigning Philippine Football League champion Ceres Negros. Phil Younghusband scored a brace while Jason De Jong struck another goal to give Davao Aguilas its first win over Ceres in a total of 5 matches. Head coach Melchor Anzures gave credit to the Aguilas teamwork. Anzures hopes the win would motivate the team in its future matches. However, the match no longer had a bearing on the home team's standings since Ceres already secured the 2018 PFL title last July 25. A new conservation site has been opened in Davao del Norte where tourists can now visit a sanctuary of fruit bats that also holds a Guinness World Record. More on this from Maricor Zapata.
The Montfort Bat Colony in Samal Island in Davao del Norte was open to the public with an open house tour last August 12. The event aims to raise public awareness on the importance of bats in maintaining the environment. The Montfort Bat Colony, composed of millions of bats, holds the Guinness World Record for the world's largest colony of Geoffrey's Rosette fruit bats. Rotary Club of South Davao President Norma Montfort owns the land where the bats live. The colony is located in the Montfort Cave in the island city of Samal. Montfort's call is to conserve, protect, and respect bats. She says the bats can teach people to live in peace and harmony with nature. The bats also help in reforestation as they pollinate at night, causing the growth of more plants and trees, which in turn helps fight the effects of climate change. The colony itself also promotes ecotourism, with hundreds of visitors coming over, hoping for the rare chance to see the bats up close. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricord Zapata.
3 weather systems are enhancing the southwest monsoon, which is expected to bring light to heavy rains in most parts of the country. Pag-asa says that the southwest monsoon would affect areas of northern and central Luzon. The weather systems include a low-pressure area last observed east-northeast of Basco, Batanes, a severe tropical storm with the international name Lipi outside the Philippine area of responsibility, and a tropical storm with international name Bebinca seen in the west-northwest of Lawag, Ilocos Norte. The regions of Ilocos and Cordillera, the provinces of Batanes, Pabuyan Group of Islands, Zambales, and Bataan would experience monsoon rains. Metro Manila, Occidental Mindoro, Calabarzon, and the rest of Luzon will also experience rains caused by the southwest monsoon. Residents of these areas are cautioned of the possibility of floods and landslides. Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The AFP welcomes the relief of about 20 military officials involved in corruption at the B. Luna Hospital. Malacanang warns it is ready to work with a reenacted budget as lawmakers suspend deliberations on the national budget for 2019. An army unit is instrumental in helping end the feud between warring Moro clans. And expect more rains as 3 weather disturbances enhance the southwest monsoon. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.